Christmas Food Drive, Friday, December 8th.
There's nothing quite like giving a good book to someone as you're going through your holiday gift giving list. And if you're looking for a great read that perhaps they're not yet aware of, we've got the perfect idea for you this morning. The book is called Blue. The author is Marco McDewey, and we're lucky enough this morning to have him join us. We'll talk about his newly released book, Blue, which is already an international bestseller, but also a book that you may have heard of already called Buck and the Boy that he wrote for the younger audiences out there. So great to have you this morning, Marco.
Hey, thank you very much. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you too.
Thank you for having me today. Yeah, it's been a great challenge, to tell you. Writing two books right off the bat was definitely a big challenge, but I really enjoyed it a lot, especially about dogs.
I've heard it said before that everybody has a book, at least one book in them, and that you should sit down and kind of write from your own experiences. And it sounds, in reading about you, that that's a little bit of what you've done here with your work as an author, because you incorporate your love of dogs into the books that you write.
Oh, absolutely. One of the questions people ask me is, well, why did you write about a pit bull? I mean, what was my inspiration on it? And really, it came to me in a dream one night. I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I had this whole story in my head, and I just started pounding away on the keyboards. But really, my reasoning stems from various factors. One, pit bulls are probably one of the most loyal breed of dogs you'll ever run into. Their ability to bond with their owners is really truly unparalleled. And really, I want to debunk some of the misconceptions about the breed. They are not vicious killing machines.
So what is the storyline of Blue? Set us up.
Okay, well, Blue is set in a small town of Downey, Idaho, where this little girl named Kiki is the daughter of the town sheriff, and he's after a notorious criminal. They find this pit bull in the store, a little blue nose. They buy it and they raise it as their family pet. And one night the dog is stolen and is basically abused and raised to be a fighting pit bull, which I absolutely do not condone. And did a lot of research on it. So eventually this dog escapes this grasp of this abusive owner and is caught by the police and rehabilitated.
So that had to have been difficult for you, because in order to write the book so well, you do have to get in there and really walk the walk and do that research and kind of embed in that life in your own way. And as an animal lover, I think you have 4 dogs and a cat, I read, that had to have been very, very difficult for you.
It was, and especially telling the story. So Blue is told from the dog's perspective. So when he is speaking, it was really hard to come up with a storyline of how a dog reacts to certain things. So when you read the book, a lot of times you're like, well, that's not how a human would do it, but that's how a dog would probably do it.
Right.
So it was really challenging writing it from the dog's perspective.
It's interesting how much you can teach life lessons through an animal, either perspective or the relationship that we have. I mean, you think about classics like The Yearling, The Art of Racing in the Rain, The Incredible Journey, all those books. So with Buck and the Boy, do you feel a little bit like you might be in that category?
Buck and the Boy, I'll tell you a little history on that, is a great story I wrote 6 years ago, kind of as a joke to my dad. My dad's name was Buck, and in the story, I made him to be the old dog. And he actually passed away a few years ago, but he got to read it, and I actually took the story, had it published. I had the Audible done on it, and I hired a guy named Joe Jeffrey out of Amarillo, Texas. He sounds like Samuel Eliot. And when he told the story to me, or recorded the story, I mean, it was really hard to listen to because it sounded like my dad reading the story to me.
Wow.
But this story is to teach kids to deal with bullying, maybe a little abusive home life, and bring a little bit of God back into the home, is really what Buck and the Boy is about.
Yeah, you find a way to kind of put your own life's view into your writing, and you don't shy away from the faith that is an instrumental part of your life, and you kind of incorporate that where you can.
Absolutely. Well, I really, with Blue especially, I wanted to bring awareness to the abuse that these pit bulls go through. I really honestly believe this with my heart. God never made a bad dog. He only made bad owners. And I mean, dog spelled backward is God. What can be better than that, right?
Right. Well, we thank you so much for sharing your time with us this morning. If people want to give Blue this holiday season, they can do that by ordering off of Amazon. But Buck and the Boy is available at Barnes & Noble and Amazon and Walmart and kind of all of it, right?
Everywhere. And that's the Buck and the Boy. And there's the Blue right there.
There you go. And you behind, very proudly smiling. Marco, thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Have a great holiday. And thanks again.
You better believe it. And our thanks to Bestseller Publishing for the conversation with Marco. We're back with more 3+U in just a minute.
I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore.
I've seen this movie. Didn't like how it ended.
Witch! Ben's in a full-blown witch trial.
Wait, what?
Quantum Leap, tonight on NBC and Peacock.
Someone must have seen what happened.
Oh, Magnum.
Maybe we can help each other. Your car. So last year.
Magnum PI, tonight on NBC and streaming on Peacock.
If you're looking for a little extra this year, you'll need to show some extra Southern hospitality. And doing it with bacon never hurt. Well, Merry Crispiness, because Jax is bringing a